Testing, testing. Good evening to all. Last week, man, last week was insane. What's going on? What's going on to my viewer? We're finna get started. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know. What it do? What it do? What it do? We're finna get started. The markets are up and moving. So why shouldn't I? So why shouldn't I? Give me 1 second. Alright. Let's see what we got going on, man. To my viewer in the chat, let's take a quick second to review last week. I got tied up with work, and working full time is hard, bro. Especially trying to come home and stream and trade. Not easy, bro. Okay, it's looking like we got some movement. What are we seeing here? Alright, let's go and review. Last week wasn't a bad week. We had some losses and we had some wins. Overall, it turned out to be a pretty green week. There were a lot of losses that I could have prevented, or I mean, maybe not prevented, because you know losses are gonna come. As far as the losses though, they were not losses that were within my strategy, and basically losses that came from me just trying to be greedy and thinking that I can just make the market do whatever I want it to do, which is not the case. I had one of my best trading days in a while, actually. My first trading day like this on an actual account. This is the Combine account, but I am approaching passing the Combine. Let me change the date here to the 14th. Okay, so right now the balance is 52.4k, almost 0.5, and my profit target, I need to additional profit needed to reach the profit target is 2.7k. It would be only 600, right? Because so the Combine account, the goal is to reach 53,000, right? And once they see I reached 53,000, they'll basically release the 53,000 to me. Now, not to keep, but to continue to trade with, and any profits that I make with the 53,000, I get to keep 90% of it. So I would be $600 away from passing the Combine, but because of the $2,000, $2,800 day I had, it messed up one of the rules that the account has when it comes to gaining profit in a certain day before you pass the evaluation or the combine. So basically, it just messed up. So basically, it says like one of the rules is that your best day cannot exceed 50% of the profit target. So because my best day was more than 1,500, it messed up what my profit target for this account would actually be. So now instead of a 53,000, instead of a $3,000 target, I now basically have a $6,000 target, or roughly that amount. But it's all good, you know. I have the confidence to be able to still reach the target, considering the day that I did have and the strategy that I have, right? Because, you know, otherwise I wouldn't have had the day that I had. And same with the losses, right? Well, no, not same with the losses, because I was explaining how these losses were because I wasn't trading in my strategy. So let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on in the market now. If you aren't shy, my viewer there, let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if the screen is lagging. Let me know if the quality is good. We're just going to get into some analysis here, see if we can get into any positions on the Sunday Open. Last week, oh my gosh, last week, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, was publicly released to the United States. Well, not even just the United States, like released to the world to be publicly traded. And right now what you're seeing is a crazy rise in probably almost every market due to the another rise here, crazy rise here, another one here in Bitcoin. And yes, so crude oil is the only thing going down, right? So what's going on in the world right now? Like, why does it look like that? So the war with Iran and Israel is coming to an end, and the high demand for oil is going down because, you know, there's no longer talk of bombs being sent or war still continuing, which is making oil less expensive, you know, because people are less worried about not having it. When we are in war and, you know, there's things going on with the Middle East, you know, they're our biggest supplier for oil. So when things are going on like that, that's why oil raises in price, because people get, you know, just like COVID, people see things are going on, and you see how they went and bought all the toilet paper and, you know, everything just to try to prepare for what they thought was coming. Same thing with the oil and gas prices, basically. So typically within the next couple of days, we should actually start seeing gas prices go back down. But there's so much going on right now that no one knows what to expect. And that's why every day when you come to trade, you got to come with a clear mind and clean slate, basically. Alright, so we're in silver here. So I am trading the value of the International Silver Reserve, and the value of that is basically compared to the US dollar. So the market that I'm trading is highly affected by yields and bonds in the United States, as well as interest rates. It is also somewhat affected by the stuff going on in Iran with the war, but not so much as oil or one of the indexes, like the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is a group of companies that provide tech and other big industry things for the world. Things like Apple, Netflix, Windows, Tesla, SpaceX now as of last week. But yeah, I really like how silver trades, just because of the amount per tick. So basically, when it comes to trading, we reviewed this before, but basically, I would be purchasing a contract and I would be getting paid on that contract based off of the percent growth or percent decrease on the value of the market that I'm trading on. If you want to let me know what level you are, so that I could try to use more terms that are more familiar to help you understand it, let me know in the chat. But otherwise, I'm just going to do what I do and try to explain it as best as I can. Excuse me. Man, it is hot as hell, man. I don't know if you're from Pennsylvania, but right now, what time is it? It's 6:30. I'm in my office here sweating. I want to open a window, but I'm kind of scared. I feel like that's going to let hot air in. But I got my water, and we're going to work it out. All right, so it's looking like we got some movement here in silver to the downside. We're breaking this support level here. Seems like we got the candle closure right here at the low. So yeah, we'll either start seeing buyers come and kick in as they did previously at this level, or the sellers will have enough momentum to bring it down just a little bit more. But I don't see this trend going bearish at all. I think silver and gold are just going to be on the rise here for the next couple of days, considering everything that's going on. And we got a lot of good news coming out this week. A lot with the, I think there's a speaker for the Federal Reserve. So basically that's going to communicate future interest rates on the US dollar. And then, damn, there's something else. There's something else going on. You know what? Let me bring up the news here. Oh shit, look, here we go. First headline. Iran deputy foreign minister confirms deal reached with the US. Trump, the deal with the Islamic Republic of Iran is now complete. Okay, so that means crude oil is about to see some movement here. So yeah, with that information, let me actually go over to crude and see how we're doing here. Yeah, we were here when the market closed on Friday, and look where it opened, all the way down here. So now we're at roughly $81 a barrel of oil, of raw crude oil. So that's the oil that gets processed into gas, like for cars and a bunch of other things. Oil is used for a lot. That's why this whole war was even going on in the first place. All right. So it looks like we got some good volume here going on at this Sunday open. So this is a strategy that I was practicing a lot when I was paper trading, but recently I just incorporated it into the strategy that I have been using, the supply and demand strategy, which is why I believe we are in a very good zone. Let me see something here. Sorry, we're getting some good movement. I think I'm about to get into the market here. We're gonna take one contract down.
Order filled.
And we're gonna put the stop loss right about here. That's some good space. We're gonna look at this a little bit closer though. All right, so this is something a little more complex, but I'm definitely gonna try to explain it as best I can. We are actually, yeah, let's zoom this out a little bit. Let's go back in. Oh, looks like I might be taking a loss here, right? I might have jumped the gun. I needed to take this closer look before getting in, but it's all good because 300 is what I was okay with losing in the first place. All right. So what are we seeing here, right? So what I can show you guys is the market just started here Sunday night at 6. If you can see down at the bottom here, it'll bring up the timestamp. So at 6 o'clock, this market opened and we've been on the rise here. And right now it had its first pullback and then it made a new high, and we are on the second pullback, reaching the previous low, which would be considered support. But right now it looks like we're having some struggling getting back up here, and we actually did come down below this low. So either this was price coming down to sweep out the orders here to gain more fuel to continue making the highs that it started with, which I am anticipating, but I just need a closer look. But as you guys can see, after this pullback, we look to continue, right? But then price pushed down again, and then we had some volume step in on the buyer side that went past this previous high here. So it is not giving me any red signals showing me that price wants to go down, although we're having some sellers step in, which is normal. So what I incorporated to my supply and demand strategy is what's called the volume footprint. So basically it is actually crazy to think about, but it is actually showing me the actual amount of orders that are going on within each candle. So basically it is showing me who is in control and at what point they are in control. So on the left side here would be the seller side, basically showing me at what price point here on the right, at what price point and what time here at the bottom if you see me hover over it. So basically, for example, this row right here, this row would be the price point of around 69.765 up into about 0.800. So within this area here, the amount of sell orders were 13 and the amount of buy orders were 2. So this was the absolute bottom of this candle. So the candle actually started here, and previous to that we had this this purple candle that was to the downside, and it had sellers that were in control. So where are we at now? Okay, so we have some, what is that, 69,600. So we're actually going to bring that down to 69.525. We'll say 520. Okay. So yeah. So right now, this trend is a bullish trend. So basically, it is a uptrending market, and we know that because we are seeing here that this is a low. Then we come up here and create a high. Then we create another low, but this low point, right, this low point in price is higher than the previous low. Then we come create a high, and this high point of price is a higher high than the previous. Then we create another little low here, and now price is all the way up here, right? So we know that this is a bullish trend, very highly bullish. And with me understanding that, I decided to take a deeper look, and I am on the 1 minute time frame. So the candles, or the time frame within the candles, are going to be 1 minute intervals. So I'm looking at each 1 minute interval since 6 o'clock, and I'm using a part of what used to be my strategy to see the actual volume that is occurring in each candle. So as soon as I get the red flag, or the signal showing me that selling pressure is stepping into the market, that will show me when to exit this trade. But as of right now, it is a bullish trend, and I have no reason to believe that it won't continue to go up. And for example, where are we here? So if you guys look at the bottom, I'm gonna try to explain this as best as I can here. So if you guys look at the bottom, oh, hold on, we're back at around here. I'm going to add
Order
another
filled.
contract, and we're gonna ride this thing. Let's see. We can get to back to this highest point. We were up at this point. I forgot around what time here. Where are we? So yeah, around 6:20. So literally 20 minutes into opening, the price of the value of silver came all the way up to this point. So it's expected to see the pullback, right? Expected to see the pullback, but upon me seeing the pullback and the return into this demand zone, I took a deeper look into the actual volume that was within this demand zone to see who would be ending up in control and at what point, right? So let's break this down. Let me see if I can get to, what is this? The absolute low point, 69.770 at around 6:30. So 0.770. Okay, here we go, right? So right around this point in this demand zone, we had this red candle, and this is that red candle here. So at this point, what am I seeing? I'm seeing, so at the bottom, this shows volume, right? So at the top, it shows what's the data that's being showed. So it shows volume, and the volume is the total amount of contracts or orders that were traded within that time frame. And in this candle, it says that it was 65. So overall, there were 65 contracts or trades that went on in this time frame. So the next thing would be the delta of that volume. So what the delta is basically the difference between the amount of buy orders and sell orders within that time frame. So basically, the overall volume of that time frame was 65 contracts or 65 orders, and When it's a negative number for the delta, that means the sellers were in control for that period of time by 27 contracts or 27 orders. So now with that being said, it also shows at what area had the most volume, right? So that would be the POC, which means the point of control. So the point of control, it literally shows you at what price point where the most volume of that candle occurred. So for this candle, it had an overall volume of 65, a negative delta of 27, which means the sellers were in control, and then the point of control of that candle was 69.820, right? So where would that be? Right around here. Boom. So right around the middle of this price point here was where the point of control was for that candle. Now it shows me that for every candle preceding. And what I am seeing, and what we are also seeing on the chart, is a bullish trend, right? An uptrend, and the volume is matching that trend. And what I mean by that is we are seeing good volume numbers for this instrument. Good volume numbers for this instrument. Give me 1 second. Let me lock in here. All right, so here's what I just saw, right? So we see the uptrend, and we're making higher highs, higher lows, right? Then we come up, and then down again, and now up, down again, and it looks like we're kind of consolidating here in this area. So I just needed to come to where price actually is, so I can watch the war in real time, right? To see who is gaining control. So in this candle here, this purple one, or what would be green for most people, and this candle here was this one, right? And we see that there was the volume of 42 contracts, and 42 contracts, and the delta was positive 20. So that means the buyers were in control. So the buyers were in control of this candle, which is why you see price went up. And then the next candle after, there was a selling candle, but the delta wasn't higher than the previous, right? So that isn't a red sign for me to get out of this trade, because it's not showing me that sellers are in control and want to push price all the way down past the volume that was in the candle previous to it. So with this down candle being only a volume of 26 and negative delta of 16, that lets me know that there isn't enough selling pressure to reverse what this trend currently is. And now, as you guys can see, buyers are stepping back into the market, and we had a volume candle of 26. Now it was an equal delta here, which means buyers and sellers were fighting to gain control here. And after this happened, what are we seeing? We're seeing the buyers take off, right? We're seeing the buyers in the next candle after, which would be this one here. We're seeing the buyers step in. Now the volume was 45, and the buyers had control of this candle by 37 contracts. Now it says the point of control is 70.140, right? So 70.140 right here. So what we would need to see at this very area right here is we need to see more than 19 contracts traded on the sell side for price to even come down below this area, right? So as long as 19 sell contracts aren't traded within this area, it will not go below this, which is why it will show me to continue to stay in this trade for a long or a buy, right? So that's the very important thing, with this strategy. So this would be okay. So look, now we got price returning into this area, right? Now we also had contracts here, but this was an even battle between the buyers and sellers. So like I said, until we see more than 19 contracts traded here, which we didn't, right? We only got the 4 and the 5, which is 9. And then we also had some buyers step back in. So even though there were 9 sell contracts here, 7 more buyers stepped in at this area, which made this area even stronger. And now, as you guys can see in this next area, this next candle here, this was a down candle, right? But the delta was only -4, which means the sellers were only in control by 4 contracts. So with that being said, the sellers' power are getting weaker and weaker, right? The delta was 4 here. What do we see in the last selling candle? -16. And what do we see here? -12. Now, this was -23, but this was after price went up, right? So this is just the pullback phase. Now during this pullback, we also see price not come below this low here. So this is basically continuing this bullish trend. We had equal lows across the board, right? And now we're just seeing buying pressure continue to increase with necessary pullbacks, but that's what it's supposed to be, right? And until we see these areas get crowded with selling pressure, I'm going to stay in this trade because there's no reason for me not to. And now what do we see here? Even weaker selling pressure. We have a down candle, right? And the total volume was 17 and the negative delta was only 1. So the sellers took that candle by 1 contract. And now we're returning into this previous area where there was a strong amount of buyers, right? So we had the 19 buy contracts here in a volume candle that was very high for the buyers. So we had 19 here, and this next candle, it was 2 and 2, so that was 0. Now we have 4 and 5 at these prices here, which would be 9. But then we had 7 more buyers step in at this level. So that brought this down to 2. So typically we're still 17 buy contracts higher within this area. Now, what do we see? Price come back down to this area. We had 4 sell contracts and 1 buy contract. What do you see? Price not coming below this area. Why? Because the buyers are in control. And how do we know that? The volume of the candles is showing us that. Whoever that viewer is, tell me you picking up what I'm putting down. Now, I want to teach you. I want to teach people because it will help me to learn. So let me know in the chat. Let me know what level you are in terms of trading. Do you understand the terms that I'm using? Let me know. I'm here to help you. Well, I'm here to trade and let people watch me trade, but it would be nice to help people in the process. I hope you're watching. I hope the connection is well. What are we seeing, right? Price in this area. This is a strong, this Jediah, second stream. He said, I hear you, trying to get the drift. Say no more, brother. Say no more. I can break it down a little more into simpler terms, right? And then but let me finish up in this trade first. I gotta get this quick little money real quick. I seen things popping off. I got some notifications going off on my phone. I'm like, yeah, it's time to get up on this stream and put my hood onto some money, man. They not digging it, bro, but you digging it. I'm glad to hear it's the second one because we want to continue making this bread. You know what? I'm actually going to cancel this order, right? Because where that that order was the place where we seen sellers step in. So now what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna go back to this price point, right? So now that we see price wants to continue heading up, it seems healthy enough to keep doing so. This was the last point where we see buyers had struggling with continue bringing price up, and basically that's because sellers stepped in to push price down. So now I'm gonna go look at the actual volume at that point so I can see what was going on. So what do we got, right? So this was what day? This was, okay, so yeah, this was today at around 6:20. So okay, so we had strong selling volume at the very top here. So boom, right? In this candle at the bottom, it shows that there was 150 contracts or trades that were too low FPS, action needed. Damn, I don't even know. I don't even know how to change that, ma. Nah, I think I'm good. Yo, Jediah, is it like lagging or anything? Is the audio good? And is it like, is the screen like lagging at all? Let me know. So yeah, right? So at this very top here where we see sellers stepped in, everything look good. All right, cool. All right, so yeah, so at the top where we see the sellers step in, right? What are we seeing in terms of volume? So we see in these candles here, so the candles leading up to the highest point, we had the volume of 120, and the buyers had that candle by 62 contracts. Now this one after being 99 total volume, and the buyers being in control by 37 contracts. Now what do we see right here? So these green bars show where the buyers had imbalance, right? So basically it shows areas in price where the buyers are in control. So that's a good area to keep track of, because we know that when price returns to these areas, we can expect these buyers waiting here to get fulfilled to step in and push price up. And that's actually what ended up happening, right? Because we're right about here, and now what do you see in the future in this area? We see buyers stepping in and pushing things up. So now what do we see in this candle here? So we have the sellers, all right? So we have sellers stepping in here. We had the overall volume of the contract, 150, and the sellers were in control by 92. Oh, let me lock in real quick. It's dumping, so I gotta see what area we are in. So we're in a pretty strong area for the buyers, and now if price pushes below this point and we get a big amount of selling volume here, we are probably going to close this trade right around here just to lock in some profits. So what is that? 70.080. Oh, well, that's actually where I got into the trade. So let me just put break even here, because if I take break even, that's better than no profit, right? So we're gonna take break even, and we're gonna watch as price comes back into this area, which is actually this area here. No, it's actually right below that area, and we aren't there yet. Okay, so we're here now, right? So we're expecting these buyers to step in to prevent price from pushing it back down. But what are we seeing? We're seeing candles, and we're seeing selling pressure. Oh, but now, okay, so boom. Okay, yep, that's the next candle. So now what we would like to see is buyers step in control here and push past this imbalance of sellers, so that price can continue going up. Shit is moving real fast, but we gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down, bro. I'm just trying to lock in because I'm in the trade right now and it's happening in real time. So trying to explain at the same time is a little difficult. But we working it out. No audio. 13-minute drive home from work. About to load back up on my Mac. BRB. Alright, bro. Yo, drive safe, bro. And yo, stay off your phone while you driving, mud. Stay off your phone. Love, safety. U.S.
Order
Iran.
filled.
Oh, we got some sellers stepping in here. Let's see how they react to
Order filled.
the levels. All good, no problem. We went break even on that trade there. Right now, we want to see some buyers step in because this is a point of demand. And we see sellers. We see a huge selling candle here with the sellers in control by 45 contracts. And the point of control would be 70.020. Let's see if buyers can step in here and push this thing back up. If not, I may or may not be getting in for a quick sell just to catch this downside movement. But I really think it's just going to be price sweeping out some orders so it can gain some fuel to head back up to that upside. But we going to see. Okay, we got sellers in control. We actually gonna get in for a sell here. Is it lagging? Don't say it's lagging. My Wi-Fi is tweaking. Okay, it didn't get me in yet. I'm seeing sellers take control, and we are in a strong demand zone right now, so I'm just gonna be a little patient. I'm kind of glad that trade didn't work. But we can see here strong selling volume stepping in. I want to see how we do within this zone here. If we can get price to close below these lows and get some more selling pressure, I might be able to step in here for that quick downside movement. Okay, we have buyers step in this next candle here. We want to see some strong selling pressure above this imbalance. If we can get above this imbalance right about 70.240, then that might convince me that we still want to go up, but we got some strong selling pressure here. Now, if we can get below these previous this previous buying candle and get some more selling pressure below right about 69.915, where's that at here on the chart? Yeah, if we can get some selling pressure right around here, that would be good. That would confirm it a little bit more for me, and then give me a good spot to put a stop loss. Okay, we got volume dying down a little bit here. All right, let's go back to this news, man. Yo, this man Trump. Okay, so we had another headline come out. Hold on. Okay. You know what? Let me set an alert. I'm gonna set an alert for this price point here. Boom. And then I'm gonna also set an alert for the top of this imbalance. Price crossing, create, and then boom, add alert. Price crossing, create. All right, so let's go to oil right now because there's a lot of headlines coming out about Trump and the war, and that directly affects the price of raw oil, crude oil. So let's go see what that price action is over there and see if we could capitalize on any movement going on. But those are the major headlines going on right now. So let's see what it's talking about. So we got price. We had that sharp ass decline from Friday's close. And now we got price heading towards another support level here. What's that? 80.82. And where we at? 80 point. All right. Boom. Where we at? 0.82. Oh, and now hold on, cause silver is moving. We got price coming back up. Hopefully we can get past this imbalance here. If we can get past this imbalance, I'm gonna get back in on silver. Just as I was about to go to crude oil, they said, hold on, don't trip. If we could get above, so we got some good volume stepping in here, and we had the buyers in control of that candle by 48 contracts. So if we can get that volume to be consistent and push past this imbalance here, I'm gonna go ahead and step in, and we're gonna ride this wave all the way up. It says the point of control for that last candle is 70.140, so I'll probably put my stop loss about 70.1, 70s maybe, if we can get the volume. The sellers are in control at the moment. We got about 15 seconds till this candle closes. Let's see how it ends up. Sellers are in control here. Okay, sellers are pushing this one back down. Sellers in control by about 14 contracts. But the overall volume is not greater than the previous bullish candle. So I'm anticipating some buyers stepping back in here. If not, then a higher volume, to the downside. There we go. So we want to see it break right around this area here before I can want to go in for some sells. What is that? We'll say about 69.9. Is that it? 820. We'll go 850 if that was 0.9. And then I want to set an alert for this high just in case price comes back up and I'm not watching. All right, so we got 2 alerts set here. We're gonna let price do his thing, and once I get that alert, we'll come see what's going on, who's in control, and see what position we could get in. Let's go back to crude oil here. Let's check that news, see if any new headlines came out. So earliest headline 29 minutes ago: U.S. and Iran reach peace deal. Signing set for Friday, Pakistan says. Man, I'll tell you what, when that peace deal gets signed, crude oil is going to drop. It's already dropping. The market just opened at 6 and it's already down 4%. You know what? Now that I said that, let's go back to oil because it might be in that point of interest. I was waiting for it to get to before we went back to silver. Where we at? Okay, so we going down here. We're going down. So we're getting to this previous support level where buyers stepped in and pushed price up. So we're looking for price to get back to these 880s and see some more selling pressure step in so that we could join in on this downside movement. But until then, we just gotta watch and see what's going on as far as the volume. Oh, we got some high volume stepping in on the buy side here on crude. We got 166 contracts traded, 68 now, 150 for the buyers in control. Last candle was only a volume of 91 and the sellers were in control by 75. Let's see if we can get some buying pressure past this imbalance here at this area at 81.1. We had the sellers in control by about 26 contracts. So if we can get price to push up here and we can get buying pressure to fulfill these 26 sellers that are sitting here, then I'll get into a buy and we'll ride this thing up to the moon if it does that. But it doesn't look like it wants to. Okay, so we had some buyers exhausted down here. So price will have to fulfill these orders to even want to go down. So where was the last candle at here? Here we go. So we had what? We had sellers in control, but price wasn't going down. So that's why we went up in the first place. So we know that if price can get to about here, we can see more sellers step in and continue to bring price down. Oh, will we get that? It looks like price wants to head there. We're damn near there. So what are we seeing in volume, right? Right after that huge buying candle volume, we seen two more red candles. First one being a total volume of 80, buyers in control by 28, and this candle now is approaching that area I was looking for it to. So if we can get some selling pressure within these areas to fulfill these 33 buy contracts, right below this level will be some more sellers ready to join in to push price down. But as you can see, we didn't get enough selling pressure to fulfill these contracts, so price pushed back up. So now let's watch it in real time, right? So we had 18 sell contracts here and then 2 buy. So that would be 35. 18 minus 35 would be 17. Then we had 15 more sell contracts step in. Oh, we had 37. Okay, so sellers are in control of this here. We should see price coming down. Silver looks to be consolidating a little bit, but I got these alerts set, so we'll know when to look back at silver when we get notified. Let's look at this oil chart here. Okay, we need some more selling pressure. Okay, so that was a strong fight between the buyers and sellers, right? So that's why you see a candle like this, one with a small body and long wicks, right? Because price was having troubles trying to figure out what direction it wants to go to. So until we get either the buyers to step in or sellers to step in, we'll just be consolidating in this range here. Looking like we got some buyers stepping in. Buyers in control by 11 contracts. Total volume 38. Let's check these headlines. Alright, we're seeing some buying pressure here in crude. I may get in for a quick little scalp if I can see us get past this imbalance up here. Okay, we got price shooting up here. We got buyers stepping in control with this last candle by 34 contracts, but the total volume was only 46, so very little sellers. We're seeing less and less sellers as we get into this support area here. So if we can get past these imbalances, I will be getting in for a buy, and it looks like we are gonna do it. If we can get the candle to close above this imbalance, we got 27 seconds. I'm gonna step in here and we'll see what movement we can get into after we get the close. So we got total volume 103, buyers in control by 70 contracts. So we got strong buying pressure here out of this demand zone. So if I can get the close above the selling imbalance, then I'll step in here and we'll get this quick movement.
This is who they ordered the large tortillas.
Oh, okay.
So
that's
it's
fine.
Enough for like 2 burritos.
Well, this looks great. Thank you. I am loved. Thank you. I love you. Couple more minutes. I'll probably finish streaming about 7:30, 7:45 ish. Looking to get in some positions here, so we're gonna work it out. I'll be down to help you if you're still down.
I just need to make mine smart jersey and that's it.
All right. I love you. Thank you. Okay, so we had price close above. Well, it didn't close above, but we got some orders to fulfill that imbalance. So if we can get more orders above this, oh, it looks like we got it.
Order rejected.
Thank God, because that was the wrong that was the wrong contract. Let's see what we got going on. We're gonna buy
order
here.
Filled.
And what is our risk? We're gonna come down to the 880s. We're gonna do 8.88. We'll be safe. We'll come right down below. We'll go 8.75. Where are we at? We could risk about 300 here. All right, and now let's see. So yeah, we still got buyers in control. Looks like price wants to continue going up here. We had buyers in control the last few candles, very high deltas, and very clear as day that buyers want to bring this up here. We can at least anticipate it to come up to this next supply area. So right about maybe here. But the volume will tell us, right? And we got good volume so far, so I'm just, excuse excuse the motorcycles and the dirt bikes. You know it's around that time of year, so they outside. Alright, so we in this position here. We seeing some good buying volume. We got some sellers stepping in here, but that's normal, right? We want the pullback. It wants to pull back to try to fulfill some of these orders and then continue to push price up. After this candle close, we'll see. Okay, so we had some indecision here, so we might get some sellers that step in. We'll take this loss right about. Well, yeah, my stop loss is valid. So yeah, if we get below this area, what is this? 8.88. So yeah, my stop loss is good. Now the risk to reward should really probably be right around here, but I really just want to be aware of this level. So let's go ahead and put it up here, because we were at this point at what time? Around 6:45. So what? Almost a half an hour ago. So you know, there's potential that we get back up to this area with the necessary volume, but it's not looking like it right now. We got some sellers stepping in, and I'm negative about 35. I actually think I want to just get out of this, because I know that, you know, things are going good as far as the war and as far as the prices in oil. So yeah, we're just gonna take this loss here.
Order filled.
That was about $60, and I actually want to see the sellers step in, because we're in a bearish trend, so we're in a downtrend anyway. So that last trade I was in really didn't make sense, because, you know, if price on this instrument is going up, it's so that it can grab. Damn, I'm sweating bullets. Let's see what silver's looking like. We had silver spike all the way down there. Okay, so we got some sellers stepping into this silver market here. Very high volume in this last candle. Sellers in control by about 51 contracts. Border control 69.910. If we can get sellers below this area here, I may be stepping in. We got the alarm. We got the alerts set for crude. So although I'm not watching it, I am watching it. Let's go to silver here. Boom. We go to silver and silver. All right, what are we seeing? What are we seeing? We're seeing price come down. We want to see some selling pressure, but it doesn't look like we are getting that. Okay, we're getting some buyers stepping in. 34 on the volume. Now we had sellers with price not going down, so that means there are passive sellers being formed at the top. So what am I seeing here? Price going up. We had the positive 17 on the delta, so we could take the contract size down, and we could go in for a buy here. Let's try this again, silver.
Order filled.
Let's try this again, and my stop loss will be, where we at, 69.850. Now why is it there? Let me look at this previous. Okay, so we had buyers step in right here, and that was the last point of control. So what is that? 69.870, and my stop loss is 850. So okay, cool. Okay. We're gonna set that stop loss. What is that? 69.850. Okay, let's watch this volume. Take a bite of my food my lady brought me. Man, oh man, how it feels to be loved. Alright, we got price coming back into this demand zone here. So we're struggling going up, right? We reached a very high point. We're in the pullback phase, and now we're struggling headed back up. So after this loss here, if it is a loss, because I'm not seeing good buying pressure to bring us out of this area, bring us out of this zone that we're struggling in. So I might just cut this loss here, depending on how price does in the zone that I have marked out. If we can't reach the zone I have marked out above and push through, then we might just take this loss here. And there might not just be any good positions today. That's all. Price doesn't seem to be moving in our favor, although we are watching the volume. And we are in a demand zone. We just need price to close out above the demand zone and give it the necessary push it needs to reach those highs. So I probably got in this trade a little prematurely, but I do see the necessary volume and candle structure for me to believe to have gotten in. just a little risky, you know. But I'm not risking too much on this trade. So I don't have too much to worry about. Other than whether or not we can get this volume to step in. Yeah, price is really struggling here. But it's all good because it is Asia session anyway. So unlike tomorrow morning, there's not a lot of volume to begin with. Shit, actually, there's a lot more volume than there is compared to other Sundays. Sundays are usually really slow. But compared to other Sundays, this is actually pretty fast, and there's actually a lot more volume than usual. And the only reason why that is because last week was a crazy week for the stock market. And as far as the whole war going on with Trump too, there's like word of peace treaties and peace going on, so that's causing oil and other energy and livestock markets to react in a lot of different ways. Okay, what we got here? Looks like we're getting that buying volume that we were anticipating. We got some volume stepping in here. This candle is a total of 45 buyers in control. Oh, we're up to 60 now, 70 now. Buyers in control by about 56 contracts. Okay, we're taking this one up. We want to see how price reacts right around these highs here. This previous higher high and this previous higher high here. But we will see. We had the close above this little consolidating range here, so that lets us know that buyers came out on top. So we want to continue to see buyers stay on top. But who knows, right? Maybe that was a notification for all the sellers to come step in. But it doesn't look like it. This next candle that's forming, we're only at a total volume of 6, buyers in control by about 4. So this candle isn't looking too strong. Well, as far as the downside. Okay, look like we got some buyers stepping back in here after that bearish candle. All right, you might just hear me clicking around, bro, but I'm just basically just looking at the previous candles and just seeing where I should set my alerts for me to just come back and check. I'm actually about to shut off the stream here for the night because I got to do the laundry and I got to shower. I got work in the morning. I got to be there at like, I want to try to get there at like 1:30. So that way I could get back to the house after work and come stream and try to get onto the market with some of the New York session volume. So Jediah, if that's still you, I want to try to get onto the stream at around I want to say like I want to say anywhere from like 11 to 2 p.m. So just be on the lookout for when I post around and I get into that. And if you're interested in seeing the results from this trade that I'm getting into, I'm pretty much just going to let this one do its thing. And if I get stopped out, I get stopped out for a loss of 200 on the night. So not too bad. But yeah, if you want updates, just hit me. And as soon as the trade closes out, I'll let you know what goes on and what I was seeing and why I did what I did. But other than that, bro, get home safe. Join the next one. And love, bro.